The three people that drive me. Little Van Wilder, a lot of Lebowski, little Jim Morrison. That'll get you your karma and your center aligned.
I can't see you with no shirt and leather pants and no shoes, though.
It might have happened once or twice. I was younger and skinnier and single. A few extracurriculars that definitely made me the man I am today.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Edwards, and with me is Zeke Baker, and together we make the Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, thank you for making us a part of your day. Say hello to the folks, Zeke Baker.
Hello, and my asterisk for the open is simply every Lebowski line that ran in my head used the F-bomb, and we try to refrain from that, or you do, so I couldn't use a lot of those.
I just want us to be like cable TV.
Cable TV plays the Eagles. Cable TV has shows on with the Eagles playing.
It doesn't make any sense.
Have you never seen the Lebowski?
No, I mean, I've seen the Lebowski.
All right, then. He gets out of the cab.
I like cable TV also has this, what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. Before I let everybody know who our guests are tonight, I want to let you know this show is sponsored by CaskCartel.com, changing the industry standard of how you receive your alcohol. Go ahead and go to Cask Cartel, get liquor shipped directly to your door, whether or not it's vodka, it's gin, it's tequila, it's mezcal, whatever it is, they have it. Whiskey, scotch, bourbon. Go to CaskCartel.com. You can also go to Instagram, follow them at Cask Cartel. They're constantly doing giveaways, awesome good things for their people. And then that's where you can find out cool codes for shipping and all that kind of stuff. They are like the Amazon of the spirits industry. They're connecting you directly to merchants that will ship right to your house from the comfort of your own home. You could be sitting on your couch late night like Zeke does. He gets it shipped right to his door. Go to CaskCartel.com and join the revolution. We have two very, very special guests tonight. It's people we know. It's people we love. One person may have just recorded a show with us an hour ago. I mean, pulling the curtain back. I think you guys know it. We try to nab two in a night when we can. Our friend PJ Harrison. How are you, my friend?
It's still hot in here.
It is very, very hot in this room. If you've listened to the last one.
I'm just thankful John hasn't tried to sing Nelly yet. He wants to. I see it. He wants to dance a little bit and sing some Nelly.
Are you worried about the thong song?
No, that's not Nelly. That's Siska.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I get him confused.
Either way, he's ready.
I didn't have a pencil. I should have remembered that.
I like it when the beat go. Let me see the booty go. That thong, 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 thong.
You just get a little too high in the pitch there. I don't know what it is.
No, he's very, very high. Cisco is very, very high.
Yeah, you don't go that high. You go to like a different in-between level. It's kind of awkward.
You're awkward.
I'm just saying.
The other thing is that I like that it's not just hot in here, it's hot in her.
Well, you got to have that drawl. Hey, the second show is always better.
The second show is always better.
Wait,
now,
I was part of the first show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're still here, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
It's not like that guy's gone. Now we can cut loose.
Okay, cool.
No, the editing of the first show, I'm going to make it sound very, very good. For those of you that listened to that show, it was tough going through it. And then our second guest here tonight, he kind of showed up halfway through. I know it got me off my game a little bit because this is the type of guy who you say, hey, we're meeting at 9:30. He's the type of guy that's going to roll up at about 10:40. But he goes, listen, I run a store.
He was on Alabama time.
He was on Alabama time.
We always use that line, grew up in Georgia, because you're always late for everything. Like, I was on Alabama time, sorry.
Tarak from Elixir Spirits, thank you so much.
I feel awkward here right now.
Why?
I don't know half the characters he described in the first half. Oh, in the preface.
Well, you can't watch most of those around your kids. And knowing how much you work, it's going to take a little while for you to get through all three movies. But if you get a chance, you'll have a much better understanding of me.
Yeah. I fall asleep when I start watching some of those.
I think what it is with the second show It's the first one, you kind of like a few conservative pours, a little tasting here and there. You try and get some notes, but it's not really enough to, rev up the senses. And then by the time you get through the first show and on to the second, you've had a couple of pours in between. Like, oh, I'm a little more limber now. I could go do some shot put or some backflips or something. And, we're ready to go.
I said I was a thrower in a private chat we had. You didn't know what that was. I mean, that is shot put. I did shot put and discus.
I thought it might relate to being a bear or something, and I was nervous.
I mean, I am a bear, but that's a different...
Are we going back to the November story?
No. We're not going there. We're going back to the fact that my high school football coach used to call me a Yeti, like a hairy animal.
Did I tell you what they call me?
Dumbass.
In a polite way.
What'd they call you?
Odie dough. So I was big and tall, walked around really goofy like Odie, and I was kind of dough, so I was kind of pudgy. So I got Odie dough or Odie a lot.
Isn't it funny that your significant other has a dog named Odie?
And I got one better eye than he does, though.
He does have one eye.
But I am like the only person that little shit has not bitten.
He's never bit me.
You ain't been over there enough.
I've been over there a good bit.
We keep him guarded, but literally he is bitten. He's wanted in 2 states.
The best conversations I have with Zeke is when he's out walking his dog about midnight.
Man, that dog's going to be like the Bush's Beans commercial. I mean, if he ever spills some secrets, life's going to change.
Tarak, we're really glad you came.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And I don't want it to be awkward.
Oh, I'm not. Is that why it keeps getting hot?
No, it's very, very hot in this room. It's very, very hot in this room. Especially with 4 of us in here.
It's a little warm.
I think it's comfortable.
You
Depends on where you
would.
come from.
Yes. What is the temperature from the area of the country that you are from?
It's more like Phoenix.
It's more like Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah.
But dry heat is different. I mean,
Yeah.
no lie. I lived out there for 2 years. It is.
You lived in India for 2 years?
No, I lived near Phoenix, Tempe.
Oh. India is interesting. I mean, depends on, because the country's so big. People forget how big the country is. I mean, if you go north and you're kind of up by the mountains, it's more of a moderate climate. I mean, it's still hot, but
There are places that are 24/7, 365 covered in snow. And
Yep.
there are places that 300 days out of 365 gets rain over an inch a day. So, who knows?
Sheesh.
It's quite different everywhere.
I will say, considering it's supposed to be 25 degrees outside tonight, I'm going to gripe about the complaint, but I won't take it to the bitch level.
is it going to snow tonight?
No, that was earlier in the week.
They kept saying it was going to snow, and it never snowed.
It
wonder
snowed a
if
little
we-
bit in south, actually. Had it Tuesday afternoon.
Really?
Yeah, quite a bit, actually.
I just wonder if we get John outside for like 10 minutes, if that sweat on his head will freeze.
It might.
That would look really cool.
It would pool up right in the dent.
It's actually comfortable outside right now.
It's more comfortable than it is in this room. But I appreciate you guys being here for one of the last shows out of this room. We're kind of just shooting the shit right now. There's no rhyme or reason to this. We know that tonight we are going to be drinking 4 Gate. And we had Bill on the show. Bill's a great guy, one of the guys behind 4 Gate Whiskey. This is batch 4, Split Stave by Kelvin. What you figure? This is what was sent to us. We've given you whiskey finished in used cooperage. We've given you whiskey that isn't finished at all. This time, we're giving you Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in a brand new kind of oak cask from Kelvin Cooperage, the Split Stave. So the staves in these alternate between medium toast and number 2 and number 4 char to impart a warm creme brulee flavor interlaced with smoky, earthy, charred oak.
So this is number 4. Then I think we missed 3. Remember I told you?
No, he
there's-
brought both of them for us.
Oh, we had both that day?
Yeah, so 3 was the outer loop orbit.
I thought it was 2.
I don't know, maybe
Curacao was 2. And I think
did we miss 3?
I think we missed 3 because I think that's the one that it's just
Nothing, it's the straight whiskey.
Yeah, I think it's still a blend of various years, but
Bill, we want to try that one. 100 milliliters is great. I am more than happy with 100 milliliters.
But no, there definitely was something that didn't have any finished or additive, or I guess additive is the wrong word, but
Listen, we got 4 people able to sample this from 100 milliliters. So, Bill, thank you so much for sending this to us. We did get this from 4Gate Whiskey, but that by no means influences our opinion at all. This is 57.8 ABV, 115.6 proof. No idea how old this is. I know it's sourced and then put into Kelvin cooperage barrels.
And so this was put into a Kelvin barrel, and then some broken staves were added to it as well, right?
It's not broken. It is the Split Stave trademarked.
Okay. I don't mean to misspeak. I just try to make sure I understand what you say, because when you do the 3 different voices, it kind of throws me off.
I only do 2 different voices.
You know. There's the one voice where I don't listen to begin with.
That's any voice I do.
Huh?
PJ woke up.
What? Sorry.
Have you guys had a chance to get some nose on this? What do you think?
I get a little heat at front and then get a sweeter notes coming through. I enjoyed it, nose-wise.
I get a lot of just variation. I mean, not too often do I, know something, come back to it, know something, come back to it, know something, come back to it, and just get, all right, well, something change here? Because if I, shift or alter a little, to this side of that or up or down, I catch a completely different, whiff or profile of what I got the first time. So to me, it's one of those that, nose-wise, you could really sit there and just, well, did I grab the wrong glass? Am I like, what's going on here? I mean, it just seems to move around between sweetness, age. It sometimes, the oak does seem a little heavier. There's the wood component, and then sometimes it's really sweet with a good kick of alcohol behind it. But it's moving around, at least in my glass.
The nose for me on this one, I do get the heat that Tarak was saying, and I'm mentioning this proof that we actually read our iTunes reviews. I haven't mentioned this in a long time because of that, but I mean, it begs me saying it. I get vanilla. There's a big time vanilla on the nose here, but you got to get past that heat and the astringency that it almost kind of like goes up and tickles my nose, the heat. And then once I can kind of get past that, I get the vanilla, I get the complexity. Zeke, like you said, there are chameleon tendencies to it. Maybe a little bit of fruit in there too, but
yeah, I mean, I get like a flash of fruit floral. I just call some honeysuckle out of that.
But I'm calling out the vanilla because it's very easy to say in every whiskey, like there's vanilla, there's caramel, there's toffee, there's leather, there's oak. I mean, there's a lot of things that you would expect there to be in a whiskey. I kind of am saving vanilla now for only calling it out when it's that prevalent that I think we should call it out.
There is a sweet woodiness. I wouldn't call it necessarily astringency, because when I think about astringency, I'm thinking about green notes. I don't get green notes. There is a mature whiskey in it.
No, it's just, it's heat.
Yeah, I mean, heat comes in waves. It's very aromatic. I would keep smelling this for good 10, 15 minutes.
One would
before
almost
I jump into
argue
it.
the heat is on.
It is on, yeah.
The sweet out of it. It's not Fruit Loops. What's that cereal it's colored like Fruit Loops but has smaller pieces? Like the size of Rice Krispies, but they're all different colors and it's really sweet. I can't think of it. I get flashes of like that much of a sweetness out of it.
I agree with John. You get a little bit of the alcohol, but right behind it's the sweetness. I just get a ton of that vanilla on this.
And we don't know how old this is. We don't know how long it sat in the Split Stave.
I mean, I'm picking up some almost like a dry wood.
You want to move on to taste?
Fruity Pebbles.
That came out of nowhere. Have you been looking that up this whole time?
Well, yeah, that's what the Google's for.
Not for tasting whiskey like everybody else.
But no, that's what I really get a funny note out of, is that interesting sweetness those things have.
So we have Fruity Pebbles at home, and it makes me want to go home and smell that container now.
You get a text from PJ at 2 in the morning.
Smells like Fruity Pebbles.
Damn it, Zeke.
It's not Golden Grams.
No, it's not Golden Grams.
What do you guys get on the taste of this one? It's a little bit of orange. Not as prevalent as like the FOMO Traverse City Legacy pick, but I do get a little bit of orange. I get a little bit of the tingle, maybe a cinnamon, a little bit of pepper.
I mean, it'd be one of those where if you wanted to go Murray or Minnick-esque and just have a paragraph of notes, you really probably could. And anybody that smelled it or tasted it, they wouldn't disagree with you or tell you you're full of shit.
No, there's a lot of different stuff. This is super complex. I think it's one that you could sit there and sip on for hours and not get tongue-tied or not get frustrated.
No, you're not going to be frustrated until it's 1 a.m. and you wasted your whole night on one pour.
Good point.
But no, I'm intrigued by this. I really am.
Yeah, it does have a lot going on. For some reason lately, I've been getting a lot of cinnamon out of a lot of whiskeys coming out lately.
I get cinnamon on this one, but up front, it almost felt like thin or lighter body Oloroso sherry. That kind of nutty sweetness I got. Then it turned into woody whiskey cinnamon notes, and then oak wouldn't go away. It feels like pretty old juice in it that has a lot of oak component backed by proof. The proof keeps going in, not in a bad way, but it's complementing all the woodiness and cinnamon spice. That upfront sweetness disappeared pretty quick and got a little bit heat on a finish, and overall it's a cleaner finish after about 30 seconds that didn't dry out the palate, but it's more or less like clean. So it's not sweet finish, it's not dry finish. Right through the middle, it's a clean finish. But it took about 30 minutes to get past the spice or heat.
No, and I'm with you on the heat for sure. Just kind of guessing, knowing it's most likely has some component of aged juice in it based on what Fourgate's done in the past. My guess would be this is more likely a Barton than a Heaven Hill, the way that heat just kind of builds and lingers toward the end. Normally, at least with Heaven Hill stuff, and the older it gets, I get a different twang off the wood.
I get older Heaven Hill as a drier finish, older Barton, and proof-wise, I do get the cinnamon spice that lingers. Mm-hmm. And so I would agree that this more likely be a Barton at a higher proof and older. And the wood shows like it shows in a 12-year-old 1792, in a 12-year-old Sam Houston, what I would think would be also a Barton source. I pick up that woodiness, but more oak, backed by the proof.
You got a rebuttal?
No, we agreed. This is one of the rare times.
It's one of the rare times, yeah.
This go down in history. But no, I mean, I'm not sure how much tinkering went around as far as the stave selection for this, but it gives, nose-wise, even having revisited this thing 22 times now, it's still a little different each time, and a little bit more comes off. Palate-wise, I don't think it dances around quite that much, but it's a fun little booger to play around with.
Yeah, I get that orange up front, the vanilla mid, and then you get some of that spice from the back end. I enjoy this.
Same here. The first taste, the spice was more than I was expecting just because the nose was so sweet. And again, it definitely built up like I get from some Barton stuff opposed to Heaven Hill. But coming back to it a second time and the tongue being, not as thrown as much of a curveball, especially from the nose. Sits well, tastes well. Like we kind of talked about offline as far as where prices are these days and things being tougher to stomach. I think this pretty much delivers, especially if you're looking at the aspect of I'm going to be with 3 or 4 or 5 buddies and we're all going to sit around and, split this bottle and enjoy it and see what each of us get. And that's a no-brainer for me, really.
This bottle might be gone in a night if it's a full bottle.
Yeah, if you're sitting around with good friends,
yeah,
it's just going to keep changing. You're going to keep laughing at, well, shit. Yeah, maybe I taste that now. Maybe I do taste it. And as John said, they did provide us a sample, but there's no additional motive or incentive us to say anything that is far-fetched or true, or untrue rather. At $200, I think I would get one for the sake of saying I had it and shared this with my friends, and we sat around and shot the shit for various occasions and pours with it.
I can't disagree at all. I enjoyed it start to finish.
And it's funny because offline before we rolled this, PJ, you're like, prices of whiskey now are just not what they used to be, and I got plenty of things stockpiled at home, and I see things cost more than they ever did, and I know I got plenty of good juice, and more times than not now I just turn my head and I think this one all caught us a little off guard.
Yeah, I'm very pleasantly surprised. I mean, it's a good pour through and through. Nose, taste, palate, viscosity, everything's really good with it.
It's super tough. I mean, I know what you're saying with the price. It kind of makes you kind of want to go like, but I like it.
And two, like I say, I mean, if it's one of those things where, you're going to have guys' night. Let's get this. We all split it. We all shoot the shit over it.
I mean, this goes to a category that we said we were going to use a lot more, and we haven't. This is totally a bottle share bottle for me.
Oh, bottle share hands down. And I think if there's money after Christmas, I'd probably get one. We all love the stuff that we can show up with friends that they may or may not have had or hopefully have not had and also hopefully are surprised by. This hits that mark for me. Where most things now are, more common or, I've had, this, that was similar. I can't attribute too much to where this goes for me.
I'm a retailer. I would say price is a preference. What is your preference? I mean, what you're willing to pay. I've seen people...
Bingo. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just going to interrupt you because I said, Tarak's going to show up and say I'm a retailer. I was like, every single show he comes on, he says I'm a retailer.
But I mean, I have to say it. I don't know how many audience know about it, but...
Oh, everybody knows.
It's also filling in the blanks, kind of like, where I come from in my argument is that I see a customer walk in the door who are willing to pay $100 for Elmertilly, and then some of them come in not willing to pay over $30. And so price is a preference. Everyone's different. And I think for me, I like this one. I always debate when there are good bottles on a shelf whether I want to drink a profit. This might be the one I drink a profit.
No, I mean, you're a retailer. You're supposed to kind of toe the line and you see what people are doing when they're coming in. But this one's super tough. It makes you want to sit there and drink the hell out of it. It really is.
I mean, to me, it's kind of like that distro pick of the Cavalon and the Vino barrel, the T-Rex.
Yeah.
We've talked about in the past and never been, and I still would never classify myself as being overly big on the Taiwanese or the Japanese whiskeys. But that one just hit some spots that I don't get out of most things. And yes, it was not a cheap bottle, but it hit me in a different way. And similar to this, it's one of those things where you're not going to want it every night. You're not going to, hey, I'm going to get 4 pours out of this bottle tonight kind of thing. But it hits enough different senses to where it's one of those you're going to look in the cabinet or wherever your stuff is and say, hey, let me try that one again. I want to see where it is now. I want to see what I get out of it. And I think it's a pretty novel product, and it doesn't disappoint me in any way.
I think we're all fans. I think we'd all go in together on one, and we probably would buy one on our own and not tell anyone we did.
Yeah, I mean, not like we have any prejudice towards things, but I don't think anybody really saw that being the outcome here.
No. What about you, PJ? Would you buy this one?
I wouldn't. I mean, when you're talking recently about what you guys are drinking recently or what's been out there different, I would definitely buy this. I mean, from start to finish, I'll second it. It's a really good pour.
I agree. Speaking of good pours, before we close up here, I mean, you guys might not get on, and I'd say there's a good chance you're not going to get on again before the end of the year. What has been your favorite pour so far this year? PJ first. You're a guest of a guest.
I'll go back to old Henry McKenna. It's one of my favorites. 100 proof, good price, good value, good flavor. I'd drink that any day of the week.
That was your best. What was your least favorite? No, I'm
my
kidding.
least favorite
no, I'm
was
kidding. Let's not even go. All right, so that
pick.
It's one of those random bottles he's got in the floor. And he says, "Have you tried this?" And it's like, "You did this to me last time."
No. So that was your favorite. Tarak, what was your favorite so far this year?
Too many.
Which Elixir pick was it?
I'll probably give you 5.
All right, give us your top 5.
Aidor Cognac number 8. That's a
Hodor?
Aidor.
Aidor.
Hodor?
A-E-Dor.
Hold the door?
Something like that if you hear that right.
Shut your mouth.
Not a lot of Game of Thrones fans.
Number
here.
8 is a 50-year-old cognac, the Blanc Papasti. That was really great. Makers RC6 was fantastic for the price. hitting right spot and price point. The Four Roses, actually, 2019. It was seasonally appropriate. It remind me of more or less why people drink Midwinter Night Dram in just the fall. 2019 Four Roses hit me as one of the favorite seasonal pour.
It is a really good fall pour. I mean,
Yes.
I didn't even think of it from a seasonal point of view.
remember I said
just
it
thought
when we,
was a
when we
good
reviewed it.
pour.
I was
Yeah.
like, this really reminds me of like the fall and this time of the year. And you're out in the woods, and then there's some the fruit component to it, and the things that would be in bloom. Then, like, it just hit the nail on the head.
I should have changed my pick to Bill and Zeke's Excellent Venture. It's really what I should.
There we
What I
go.
should have said.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hey,
Let's change your word.
you have some brown on the front of your nose.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
He really did wipe his nose for a second there.
I didn't think he had anything to do with it.
Hey, the
though.
Bill and Zeke's was a ringer.
Bill and Zeke's was a winner.
All right, you got one more, Tarak.
One more, says 18 this year. I'm usually not fan. Well, I have tried only one more time in the past. Says 18 of 2019. Linger for good 3 minutes for 90 proof. It linger on and on and on.
I did have the first SAS release, our SAS 18 release, the same day we did the JD pick. There wasn't a ton on the front. There really wasn't. But man, did it just hang around forever and ever and ever and just linger. It's like, where was this the first 2/3 of my tongue? Because I didn't know necessarily anything was here. And then, like, still going.
I'm a fan of the Saffel and the limited edition small batch from Four Roses. I think those are my top two. But now that I've successfully killed a conversation, I want to let you know all of our glassware is provided by distilleryproducts.com. Check them out. I will get you in touch with Vicky. If you want to get in touch with them, reach out to me. I will make sure to get you in touch with her. They have everything you could possibly need. The wee Glencairn, which I thought you could only get at Heaven Hill, the regular Glencairn, the Tua glass. You can get the neat glass engraved. They are one of the only places in North America that does that. They have decanters, they have tumblers, whatever it is. Go to www.distilleryproducts.com. If you are a group, if you are a company, whatever it is, please reach out to me. I will make sure to get you in touch with them. PJ and Tarak, thank you both so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
It's been fantastic.
Easy, Wally. Less is more.
I mean, less is more. All right. It's still warm.
Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke, the folks can find us on Instagram at Dad's Drinking Bourbon, Twitter at Bourbon Dads, Facebook at Dad's Drinking Bourbon. Go ahead and follow Tarak at Elixir Spirits. Go ahead and follow PJ Ware.
At Elixir.
Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, and South Carolina.
All right, just follow all those states.
I use distillery products.
Tarak uses distilleryproducts.com as well.
I can say Vicky is great.
You have this Canadian Glencairn here with Elixir Spirits on the bottom.
Hey,
Glencairn mixer.
you
or
guys
Whatever.
half gallon Glencairn.
you can keep the Papas Pilar glasses. Can we trade?
Sure. Cheers. Zeke, where else can the folks find us?
Nashville, Tennessee.
PJ, Tarak, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
You.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone, for putting up with this.